Alright, students, welcome to lesson 5-1, the beginning lesson for topic 5. We're going to be looking at factors, multiples, and divisibility. Anyhow, let's get started. It's going to be a little bit longer lesson. Words to know: divisor, that's what you're dividing a division problem by. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. Factors are all the numbers that you can multiply to get a single number. So 1 and 36 would be a factor of 36 because you can multiply them together to get 36. Division and multiples. Okay, how are factors and divisibility related? How many different ways can Raul build a dog pen that has an area of 36 square meters and has sides that measure whole meters? Let's find out. First off, let's review how to find the square area of something. So to find the square area of something, it is length times width, which gives you the squared meters. So if I take 1 times 36, okay, I get 36 squared meters. Okay, if I take 3 times 12, that will give me also 36 squared meters. Sorry for the horrible handwriting there. It's kind of hard to write with a mouse. So I'll read the problem again now that we kind of have an understanding of area again. It's length times width. So how many different ways can Raul build a dog pen that has an area of 36 square meters and has sides that measure in whole meters? Let's find out. So I just did two examples, 1 times 36 and 12, or 3 times 12. Those are both factors of 36 or multiples of 36 that you can multiply together to get 36. Okay, so now it's asking us, well, how can we use division to solve this problem? We know that, we can multiply these factors together to get the answer, but now it's asking us, how can we use division to also solve this problem? So divide to find the possible measurements. A number is divisible by another number when the quotient, or the answer to a division problem, is a whole number and the remainder is 0. So no remainder, the answer has to be a whole number. That's what is going to make it a possible measurement, or being possibly divisible by that number. So if we take a look at a few of these, we've got 36 divided by 1, which is 36. Now, multiplication and division are just the opposite of each other, and so 1 times 36. Anyhow, like I was saying, multiplication and division have an opposite relationship. So if 36 is divisible by 1, then 36 is you can also multiply it by 1 to get 36. So these are all the different ways that we can divide 36 to get a whole number that does not have a remainder. 36 divided by 1 equals 36. 36 divided by 2 equals 18. 36 divided by 3 equals 12. 36 divided by 4 equals 9. 36 divided by 5 is 7, remainder 1. But remember, we are looking to have numbers that have the quotient is a whole number. Okay, so 7 remainder 1, that's not a whole number, that gives you a remainder, so this does not work. So we go to the next one, 36 divided by 6. That does work. 36 divided by 6 is 6, okay? So it has to be a whole number in order to be a factor or to be divisible by something. All right, the divisors and quotients are all factors of 36. So any answer to our division problem that's a whole number, that is also a factor of 36. It means that we can multiply them together to get 36. So this means that 1 right here and 36 are both factors, but I can also multiply these together to get 36, which means they're multiples. 2 and 8, if I multiply those together, I get 36. So those are factors and multiples. 3 and 12, 4 and 9. 5 and 7 does not work. We already went over that. But 6 is, because if I multiply 6 by 6, I get 36. It is also a factor because it is a factor of 36 because I can multiply 6 and 6 together to get 36. Why are the divisors and quotients of a division problem also the factors of the divisor? Well, we kind of went over that already. But basically, I want you to write this one down. The divisor and quotient of a division problem are also the factors of the dividend because multiplication and division have an inverse relationship. So remember, inverse is like the opposite. Multiplying the quotient by the divisor gives you the dividend as the product or the answer. Factors are the numbers you multiply to get the product. So any number that I can evenly multiply together and get 36 in this equation or in this problem are all going to be multiples, okay, or they're all going to be factors. We'll go over that more in just a minute. But the factors, after all of this, are all the numbers that we have in red. So the factors or divisors of 36 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. All the factors of 36 have been found. Use each pair of the factors to find the possible measurements of the dog pen. So this is saying that I could have a dog pen that's it's 1 square meter by 36 square meters. So I draw like a little pen that's really long but really skinny because it's 1 by 36. I could have a dog pen that's 2 meters by 18 meters. So it's a little bit wider and not as quite as long. So I hope you're getting the idea here. Or I could have a 3 meter pen by a 12 meter pen. So this is talking about the length and the width again. So it's still a little bit wider, but it's getting a little bit shorter. So these are all the different measurements. Okay, and 6 and 6, you only see 6 listed once, but up here we see 6 times 6, or 36 divided by 6 will give you 6. You only list a factor once, so even if you need it twice, you only list it once in your data set or your set of numbers. Okay, so yeah, I want to teach you another way. I think it's important to understand the inverse operation of division and how that works when finding the factors of a number, and that it's the inverse, and so I can still multiply that and get the right number. But I want to show you another. Alright, like I was saying, I wanted to teach you a way that I think is a little bit easier to use. It might help some of you to understand this. It's called rainbow factoring, and while you might not have ever heard the name, you might have heard the term, you might have saw it done, but now you're going to know the terminology. So remember, at the beginning of the problem is we were trying to find 36 square meters, what would add up to be 36 square meters. So rainbow factoring works like this. So I'm going to write down my number 36. Okay, I'm going to put my little colon right here. Okay, looks like the 2 dots like between the hours and the minutes hand on a clock, digital clock. Okay, so now rainbow factoring works like this. So I want to start with 1. What times 1 will give me 36? Well, I know 36 will. So I'm going to write my 36 down here. I'll show you why it's called rainbow factoring. I want to separate the two, but here's why. I'm going to connect these with a little rainbow. Boom. So 1 times 36 will give me 36. Now, here's why it's so easy. I'm just going to follow a number line. So, and numbers in sequential order. I went from 1 to 36. Now I'm going to try 2. Can I multiply anything by 2 to get 36? Well, yeah, we already know because of this that we can multiply it by 18. So, once again, I'm going to put commas in between each of my numbers so I don't get confused. I'm writing down my 18. Okay, another rainbow. So, 2 times 18 gives me 36. Now I'm just going to keep going down my list of numbers one by one. 3. Okay, now what times 3 will give me 36? Well, I know that the answer is 12. I'm going to put another rainbow between them. This rainbow is a strategic behavior, some of the strategic behaviors that we've talked about. And it's important to follow these because it means that we're going to find all the factors fairly easy without any mistake. So I went 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to go to 4. Okay. Now, what times 4 will give me 36? Well, 9. Okay, another rainbow. Okay, now, here's the tricky part. Not really tricky. You just gotta know your math facts and your multiplication facts. But, I mean, you can always write it down and then erase it later. But so I'm going to write down 5, and I'm going to think of, is there anything that I can multiply by 5 to give me 36? So let's go through all the multiples of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Did you hear 36 in there? No, because 5 is not a factor. So we're not going to include it in our rainbow chart. But, okay, we know that 6 is a factor. Messed up my rainbow, and I gotta fix my pretty rainbow. There we go. Connect my 3 and my 12, my 4 and my 9. We know that 6 and 6 multiply together, rainbow, to get 36. Now, here's how this works, and here's what is beautiful about it. You know you're done when your numbers match or there's not another multiple in between. So look, I've got 6 and 6. My numbers match together to multiply to get 36. I'm done. I'm not going to try 7, 8, 9. I've already done 9. I've done 9 right here. I'm not going to do 9. I'm not going to do 12, 18, 36 again because I've already done that. So I'm done. That's what's beautiful about rainbow factoring. But now, remember, when we write down our factors, we're not going to include this extra 6. So we would write it all down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. I need you to write this example down of rainbow factoring. This is what I'm going to be looking for in your homework to see that you know how to do the rainbow factoring, or you can use the divisibility rules by dividing the number and finding all the things that are divisible by it. But I think this is an easier method. So you choose which one, but I want to see one of these in your homework. Have a great day. Get to work on your practice. Thanks.